One of the major steps in self-awareness and mind control is realization of one fact, that we control nothing. And the idea that I can control anything in life, which is the desire of my mind to be able to be in control, is an illusion, right? Scientifically, philosophically, it's well established that what is supposed to happen will happen. Some of them are preordained. Spring comes, grass grows, flower blossoms. Waters basically run down the river, right? Stars come to being. Child is born, you know. The genes, the DNA in that child was preordained by the parents and grandparents and so on. Social conditioning happens. I don't choose my first teacher. I don't choose my first friends. I don't choose my neighborhood when I was a kid. I choose nothing, but I am subject to those events and conditioning in programming me, filling me with information, influencing me. And then I start reacting to my ordained influences that they have made me, produced me. I'm a product. Mentally, biologically, emotionally, I'm a product. And then, even scientifically, it is proven that 6 seconds before I have acted on something, my mind has already made that decision. Response is already made by mind before I'm aware of it. 6 seconds before I become aware of an response or an action, my mind already has made that for me. Well, how can I stop thinking? So to begin with, one should become aware of the difference between I and thinking process. As soon as you said I think, you already have indicated the separateness of I and thinking. So I think that's where one has to start the journey of self-awareness, the end of which is empowerment of true self, in a way that the thinking becomes a process that I can take on as I decide. Meaning that thinking does not remain anymore an automatic process of a autopilot functioning of mind, responses like a reflex. Rather, thinking becomes a process that I initiate towards a particular end or topic. I become the rider, mind becomes the horse, and I and the horse and the body as a whole becomes me. But when people say that I can't stop thinking, that means the background commentary that is running uninterrupted within mind is not controlled. Meaning that as I observe, see, smell, and take in the information from my environment, mind automatically makes an assessment, a commentary, a judgment, a response of any sort about what is going on without I decide. And with that comes emotional responses. Some of them are very strong, like emotion of fear, for example, is very strong, or anger. They can be provoked without even I'm in control of it. So this is what needs to be
addressed. And I need to see myself not as my mind, and I need to take a step back from my mental operation and see that this commentary, this mental activity, this emotional activity, the observation is going on, and I am in a position to interrupt, to break the cycle. I see or I hear, and the response, no, I see, but I want to stay on it before having an auto-reflex response. Some of our attitudes or behavior are innately set on auto-reflex, like something comes to my eyes automatically closes. We can't control those things. Or as soon as I eat food, the digestive system starts working its own. But there are some aspects of my being that they are supposed to be within my control. Why I lose control is because the sense of me as the chief in command of my being is being undermined by my mental automatic reflex activities, which involves emotional responses to situations and peoples and events. And that is where I would start. And the course I Think I Should Not Think tries to address this process of becoming self-aware and realizing my powers as my true self beyond my mental capabilities and mental machineries and mechanics of my thinking, emotions and responses, and then how to break that cycle and how to acquire a still mind, a mind which can stay quiet even though when I receive information, but still mind is not provoked to create a response till I make that response.
It feels beautiful to be in a state of no thinking, but how does this work if you have to worry about tomorrow and your day-to-day living?
Yes, that's a very powerful position that my mind always has, meaning that I have to worry about tomorrow. I have got to worry about what's going to happen next. My well-being, my success, my possible failure, my job, my career, my relationship, all of these things are basically posing very attractive subjects to my mind to keep thinking and presumably answering those questions or responding or planning in a way that I can feel that I'm trying to gain control on my future. And this is the illusion that we always fall for, meaning that illusion of believing that I can control future or I can make things possible in a particular way so that future will happen in a particular way that I'm going to be fine with that. And with that comes the baggage of concerns and worries and stress and anxiety about what if it goes wrong. So the key issue here is not to be oblivious of future. Yes, future will come. But more importantly, I'm in the present time, and whenever future comes, can only come in the form of present time, because we never access future as future. Future becomes present moment, and then I experience always the present moment. Then I have also a view of what may come next. The way we respond to the future is not factual. The way we respond to the information that comes to us is not necessarily factual. It is always involved with our emotional experiences as well as information from the past. So when an event occurs, when I receive a letter from my employer, for example, and that letter is demanding me to have a meeting with my boss first thing in the morning, what goes in my mind is far more than the information which has come to me in a way of letter. I've seen the letter, I've read the text, but text only is talking about meeting my boss at some stage in the next day. But then the entire stress, anxiety, expectation, and insecurities which comes with it, they are a product of the imagination of mind based on what I have experienced in the past, my confidence, and so on and so forth. These emotional upheavals that are generated and invoked as a result of this letter, they are not factual. They are emotionally produced, amplified, inflated information that are not helpful with respect to my meeting with my boss. My response at this point of time should be limited to putting the meeting on my diary. Beyond that, everything else that my mind suggests and comes with the possible scenarios is not needed, is a chaos, is out of control emotional triggers that creates all form of disorders in my very physiology. And I need to have a restful night, I need to enjoy my moment, I need to enjoy whatever I'm doing today, and I need also to be prepared for a meeting tomorrow. And between now and then, I need to be master of my own being in a way of experiencing my rest of time. Now, by not thinking, I don't mean that we should not plan, but we should not allow mind to inflate, exaggerate, and amplify emotional responses to imagined possibilities about future. And these imagined possibilities are like a nightmare. And can we control and contain them? Yes. How? Yes, I can give you one example that for step one has to recognize that they are not factual. My mind generates them based on my past experiences, my social conditioning, my many other influences on me in the past, and then basically it projects to the future, and I'm basically caught between that. So I need to recognize that, number one. And there is more into it in terms of how do I develop abilities and techniques in switching off my mind and acquiring a still mind when I need still mind. Still mind meaning that I reset the button, I close the windows in this computer that I'm not happy with, and I start windows that I want to be busy with. And that ability can be acquired with self-awareness.